We incorporated the candles that we used later in the play into our ident. We used After Effects to change the tint and give it a burning effect to fade out to. The footage we used, we filmed ourselves and then added the effects to.
The establishing shot is a panning shot. We used a skateboard as an improvised dolly as we didn't have any to use. We did this to make the scene flow nicely. We also used a relatively long take as it introduces the whole film and establishes that the focus is on the desk and his hands.
We used the candles as a prop in our film because we wanted to emphasize what time era we were going to use. This is why we used a Scrabble and the typewriter too. It also gives off a natural light source that helps emphasize the scene.
We used the diegetic sound of the typewriter to emphasize the genre of the film, as well as creating an enigma because he's using an old-fashioned typewriter instead of a computer in the modern times. This will also show the time setting and era.
We only use the actor's hands throughout the opening. This is because our narrative is restrictive and it gives the audience enigma codes to decode, as they will be thinking, who is the man? And this will engage them more and entice them to watch more.
We used After Effects to create a wiggle effect on the writing. To do this, we had to download a new text that we wanted to look like a typewriter. We then had to put this on After Effects, and all of this proved tricky as we didn't know how to get the effect we wanted. We had to research how to get this done. We overlapped two of the same scenes of him writing to add effect and to make it more interesting to watch. We got the idea of this from the research of Seven. This is called the echo effect.
We overlaid two shots so they blend more smoothly into one another. This makes it more appealing for the audience and adds interest.
We decided to use this name because of the play on words. We use a dice as a major prop in the opening, and the whole thing sounds a bit like Decide, which is what our piece is about, deciding who to choose using the dice.
We put filters over the top of all the scenes because we wanted the scenes to have a red tint over the top. All of the scenes came out of different colours when filming, so it was hard to colour correct them as all the same shade of red.
We added the effect onto one of the dice shots that made it come out of his hand in slow motion and then reverse back in and come out normal speed. We did this because there is a lot of shot of the dice and it makes it seem less repetitive.
When the killer is destroying the pictures, it is symbolic and foreshadows what will happen later in the film without the audience knowing too much. It gives off an enigma as the audience want to know who they are and what and how they die. We kept one victim undestroyed to symbolise that one of them does survive. Again, this is an enigma code as the audience want to know why. It also makes the opening flow better into the main story.
We use this as a closing shot because as the candles fade out, it would blend well into the main story, and it also finishes quite abruptly, which gives the tense atmosphere that we wanted to achieve.